Oh.
Okay. So I'm arranging, requesting the parents to sit in the back and then students can sit in the front.
Okay.
To hear you very clearly. โอเคน้องๆมานั่งข้างหน้าไหมเชิญครับตามที่พ่อแม่ข้างหลังโอเคน้องข้างหลังสนใจมาไหมมาไหมเชิญครับ
Gotcha. So smart people up front, dumb ones in the back. Thank you. It's a joke. Okay.
โอเคครับทุกท่านคุณจอห์น นอร์แมนนะครับแล้วเดี๋ยวจะเริ่มตั้งแต่ตอนนี้เลยนะครับถ้าใครอยากไปห้องน้ำคุยได้นะแล้วก็รวมไปถึงเดี๋ยวจะมีแบบฝึกหัดเรื่องน้อยด้วยนะครับเดี๋ยวจะแจกเอกสารนะครับแล้วก็รวมไปถึงจะเป็นภาษาอังกฤษหมดเลยนะแต่ถ้าเกิดใครไม่ทันอะไรจริงๆก็ยกมือถามได้นะครับโอเค please welcome Mr. John Dohrmann from EF Academy New York ครับผม
So hello, Sawadika. I was a teacher at New York Academy. Joe can verify that. He's seen me there. I remember him, right? Yes. And I'll tell you more about me in just a minute. Of course not. Come on. Hot. How's my tie? Pretty good? I'm working on it. I really am. Because I travel all over the world. I've met many students from all over the world. And when I came here, I was so happy to come back here. Oh, Thailand, I really do. It's been from my heart. And I've been all over the world. So I come here, and I've been here like 5 times. I was like, oh, you love Thailand. Do you speak Thai? So I felt guilty. I felt like I should learn some more Thai. So I've learned a couple words this week. I'll try them on you now. So this is Kwa, Sai, Chong Bai. Yeah. Which works if you're in a taxi cab or in a tuk-tuk. But if you're on a motorcycle, I ride motorcycles, it's crazy. You just sit back and pray to Buddha, do not kill me. Except you can't do this because you're hanging on, you're just moving, right? You ride motorcycle? Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't. You're smart. I learned one other word last night too. I was out to eat with a friend. Amazing dish. See if I say it right. Yam tuapu. Oh my God, that's so good. Now, everywhere you go in the world, there's Thai restaurants, right? Everywhere. And of course, there's chicken satay, there's the red curry, the green curry, the papaya salad. How come I've never had this dish until now? It's really good, right? Okay, so I'll go in a couple words. Now, I taught business management, IB, it's part of the IB. I also certified to teach econ at the school. I did that for a couple years, but I haven't always been a teacher. I actually was a businessman. So I had businesses in Seattle. You've heard of Seattle? It's over here. And I started up 3 companies, and then I sold my companies, moved to New York, and started teaching the EF. But the last couple of years, they've asked me to go on the road. So that's why I've been to Thailand many times. And I've been to many, many countries all over the world, over 23 countries on like every continent here. So, like I said, very happy to be back here. And I've been asked to give a sample class about business. But before I give the class, what do you think of when you think of American business? Because America's businesses are everywhere. We're everywhere, right? So give me the name of a famous American business here in Thailand. What do you know? What do we know? Yeah. That's the first thing I think of too. Every single place I go on the planet, I see McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut. And this picture right here explains why Americans are kind of bad. Or kind of chubby, right? Because this stuff tastes good, it's cheap, right? It's a good one, yeah. What else?
Texas.
What? Texas?
Yes. Fresh.
What?
It's a fresh.
Oh, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Texas?
Yeah, Texas.
I don't know that. What did you say?
Starbucks.
That's what I think of. Starbucks, right? Because Starbucks too, the biggest coffee chain on the earth. It's from Seattle, where I'm from. If you ever go to Seattle, the very first Starbucks. Anyone ever been to Seattle? Yeah. For work or for fun? What?
Travel.
Oh, okay. Was it okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it sunny? Was it nice and sunny? Oh, yeah, of course. Then you love it. Yeah. It's beautiful when it's sunny, but the sun only shines half the time. But did you go to the first Starbucks?
No.
You did. You remember the fish market where they throw the fish? Yeah, they have the first Starbucks there. I mean, it's just another Starbucks. She couldn't even remember. Did I go there? Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah. But
the fish market.
the fish market's great, isn't it? Yeah. So it's in a cool location. So if you ever go to Seattle, you don't have to go to the first Starbucks, but where the location is, it's really great. So, and come on, Hollywood movies, right? Hollywood do good movies, right? Good ones, bad ones. Hollywood movies. You reckon?
Yes, Canada.
Thank you very much. It's a joke. He's North American. He's not, but she's American. So our influence, America, we like spread our influence everywhere, obviously. None of you mentioned technology, but of course, also we got Apple, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Mr. Trump's famous way of talking to everybody. I don't like this. If any of you do, I'm sorry about any of you. I'm American, I can say that. Okay, so the sample class I'm going to give you now is one, just a sample, little piece of one that I taught back in New York. It's on branding. Now, I've already shown you a lot of brands. We all know brands, of course. Probably almost everyone is wearing a brand right now. Brands matter. We shop brands. And I read, a couple of years ago, I read that the average 5-year-old child, 5 years old, knows and recognizes over 200 brands. 200! They know and recognize 200, so we're just like inundated with brands. But what is the first type of branding? Hundreds of years ago, anybody take a guess? How did all this start? Before there were products, before there were all these products, what was the first type, or one of the first types of branding? Anybody know? Take a guess? Come on. I called you guys the smart ones up front. No.
Knocking on doors.
No, actually not knocking on doors, but that's a good guess. The original first one was actually burning an emblem on a door, and it actually came, burning a product, it actually came from a Norwegian term, which was to burn. The word means to burn, and it's burning a logo on your product, which is exactly what a farmer's doing, right? This is called a branding iron. Hundreds of years ago, a farmer's taking their unique logo and putting it on their product, so they can tell which ones are theirs. Same thing companies do today. Or you mentioned Texas. There's another way they do it in Texas. Thank you. It is a joke. Come on. It's a joke. Come on. We don't really do that. But be careful if you go to Texas. Okay. I don't think you would be smiling if it was hot. Well, I'm not going to talk about branding your kids or branding your house. Let's talk about company brands. Can somebody take a guess what is probably the best known brand on earth? I'll tell you, it's over 100 years old. It's an American company, and it is everywhere on every corner of the planet. Okay, I know you know the answer.
What's the company? Is it a food?
The brand, yeah, okay, yes. Good guess. That is actually one of the most recognized ones. That's a very good guess. There are three, and I'll cover all three. This one's older than that.
KFC.
Older than that. Mom knows in the back. She's about to tell her.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola is probably the best known brand because I mean you could be in a loop, and I've been to South Africa down there where there's no McDonald's, there's no internet, there's no Apple, but they got Coke. Coke is everywhere. Coke's been around a long time. Coke has been around since 1886. Does anybody know in 1886 when it was first invented? Why and what was inside?
Coca-Cola.
You're right. It actually, coca stands for coca leaf. So a pharmacist had this great idea of putting a tiny bit of cocaine inside a liquid drink so if you have a sore throat, you could drink it. And they was like, maybe we shouldn't have cocaine in a drink. So they took that out and put in caffeine, which gives you a buzz. So it was only in there for a couple years. You can see the logo though in 1905, the logo's almost identical to what they used today. They haven't changed it in 100 years. By the 60s, this was the image they came up with, pretty much identical to what they use today. So now for 50 years, haven't really changed their image. And the power that has, everybody knows what this is. It doesn't matter what language. You don't have to, it could be Arabic, it could be Russian, it could be Chinese, it could be Thai. Doesn't matter. You know what it is. Anywhere you go in the world. And if you look at what this is, look how simple this is. Just a block of bread, this little white ribbon on it. What does that look like? White. Wave. Right? So wave. Coke wave is what they call it. So anywhere you go. And I saw one of these a couple of years ago. That's you guys, right? Yep. So I've seen this before. So yeah, it doesn't matter where you go. You pick one up. Now, sometimes do you drink a Coke? Sometimes? No, never? Okay, so when you have a hamburger, what do you like with your hamburger? What do you drink for a hamburger? Tea? Coffee? What, tea? You drink tea? I see. Well, I associate it a lot of times with food. I think a lot of people do. It's good you don't drink it. It's not really healthy. It's a lot of sugar. Tastes great with a hamburger, or pizza, or tacos, or hot spicy. When I grew up American, my dad owned a hamburger restaurant. I drank Coke. I don't drink it every day, but every now and then, there's nothing like it. Do not give it to your babies. That's a joke. Okay. So for a lot of us, just there's nothing that is good. I'm just in the mood for a Coke. A little sugar, caffeine. But for the company, capitalism. Coca-Cola is by far the #1 soft drink on the planet. Now, this is actually a couple of years old. They actually have a 51% worldwide share on soft drinks. That's incredible to think about. 1 out of every 2 soft drinks sold on the planet, Antarctica, Australia, doesn't matter where you're at, 1 out of every 2 is going to be a Coke or a Coke product. Now, they sell Fanta, they sell Sprite. Most of what they sell is still Coke, and Coke, Diet Coke, and Coke Zero. Second, Pepsi. Pepsi's actually dropped. Now this is 51, Pepsi's only 19%. Now, does anybody know why they came up with the product Coke Zero? Which is exactly, you're exactly right, but there was already a Diet Coke. You're exactly right, but there's a little change to what you're saying. Because there was already Diet Coke. There was already a Coke that had no calories.
So it had more change, but it was just that. Did it like more calories?
You are so close. You two together are about 90% there, but who? Yeah.
The type of sugar they use.
No. And they did alter a little bit. You're right about that. But the main reason, you're very close. The main reason they came up with Coke Zero, because Diet Coke was a girl's drink. So if a guy's drinking Diet Coke, oh, John, what's in your belly, huh? Kind of on a diet, huh? But now there's Coke Zero, black label, 0 carbs, right? So now a man can drink a black label, 0 carbs on pumping iron. It was 100% to try to get more men to drink Diet Coke. And it works, and it tastes about the same. It's good. I drink Coke Zero. It tastes really good. You don't need all that sugar. So again, that's the reason they did it. And they captured more market share. This is a couple of years old, so it's working for them. Now you know these logos, but we'll just go through a few of them. Of course, you know this one, right? You guys probably are saying Facebook's for old people. It's Instagram, it's Snapchat. We're on Facebook, right? Are you on Facebook? No, not really.
Yes, but Instagram.
Yeah, but Instagram, exactly. But do you know how many people in the world are on Facebook? Total number of people who are signed on to Facebook. Do you know how many? Anybody know? Take a guess. How much? What?
Billions.
What?
Billions.
You're right. 2 billion people on Facebook. What's the population of Earth? How many people on Earth?
5, 6,
A little over 7. A little over 7. So 2 billion out of 7.5 billion on Facebook. That's 1 out of every 4 living people. It's incredible. That includes, people in Africa who don't even have internet connection. Pretty amazing. Do you know how old Facebook is? How old is Facebook? Not as old as W. Only about 14 years. Pretty incredible, a product that, 15 years ago didn't even exist. Now they have 2 billion people on it. Of course, by the F and the blue. Everybody in Asia knows 7-Eleven. Walk down 7-Eleven, walk down the street 7-Eleven. There's like 5 on every street, right? So does anybody know why the number's 7-Eleven? Maybe, but not the original idea. That's close. It is 24/7 now. But years ago, it used to be open from 7 to 11. So a long time ago, like 1970s, I think when they first started out, 7 o'clock was open early. 11 o'clock was open late. So the numbers didn't store hours. But if they changed it 24/7, they're like, what's that story? So they kept the name 7-Eleven because everybody knows 7-Eleven. Of course, you know this. And what does LG stand for? What do letters LG mean? Well, I heard it. Come on, say it. Good. Life's pretty good here, right? Come on. You got the best food in the world. You never have to wear a jacket, right? It doesn't get cold here. You got good food. Life's pretty good here, right? And it's just, I just think it's a creative, interesting way of taking the letters, turn it into a real positive, smiley face. Thank you. Guys, Xbox, yeah, no, PlayStation 4. You like video games? What's wrong with you? You like video games? Yeah. You like video games? Video games are the best way to waste your time and rot your brain. I love video games. I love rotting my brain. Sometimes I just like video games. Okay. Now I think this logo is interesting though, because it's not a box. So what are they saying about an Xbox with that image? You see the X on it.
It's not just a box.
What is it? Yeah. Well, what does it look like?
It's a sphere.
A sphere. Thank you. It's a ball, right? That's a what? Earth. Thank you. See, these are the reasons they're sitting up front. The smart kids always sit up front. No, it is. It's kind of like a world sphere, and it's cracked open. Inside is something kind of green, so it's not Earth. And what happens when you crack open a great video game? You go into this really cool, weird world that's not Earth, right? Just like, right? And girls, get used to this look, because if you're going to be with a guy, he needs his time to play a little video, okay? You just got to accept it. Maybe not every day, but one day a week, he just can't sit down crazy. Now, you mentioned McDonald's being the most recognized logo. Yes, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Nike. 3 most recognized logos, brands on the planet. This one, being one of the most recognized, still is different. No letter, no word Nike. Could be any color. Coke's red, Facebook's blue, Xbox green. This could be orange, red, white, blue, any color. And it doesn't look like any of their products. It looks like a shoe, it looks like a football, basketball. So what are they saying about Nike? That thing, what do you think of that image? What does that look like? A tick, yes, yeah, kind of check. So when they say just do it, you go check this, did it, done. What?
Pick this product.
Pick this product, check this, yes. Think more abstractly. go to dumb people in the back. Yeah. Got a guess? CEO had something very specific in mind. He said, I want to show movement. Now, is this moving fast or slow?
Fast.
Fast, absolutely. Looks like it's zipping around a corner, maybe a comet flying in the air, gust of wind. It's moving fast. And he also wanted to represent a wing or something flying. I'll tell you why in just a minute. But if you think about any sport now, if you're moving fast, it's great, right? So it's kind of a little subtle, little positive image representing speed, movement. I'll say it's a little bit like a smiley face. Now the word itself comes from the Greek word. This is actually Nike, who is the winged goddess of victory. So that was what the CEO had in mind. Here's another interesting story. See if you know this, see if you know about logos. When he started the company, he actually, is anybody wearing Tigers or Asics here? They're everywhere in Thailand. You know those shoes, right? The Tiger shoe, Asics. Well, he was representing them, then he decided to make his own shoe. So the guy who invented it came to Japan and said, those are great shoes. And he was selling them in the back of his car all around America, driving around trying to sell Asics and Tigers. And he said, I'm just going to make my own. So he came up with this, and he went to a college and said, student said, I need a logo. I want something that represents speed and fast. So a girl designed this logo for him. You know how much she got paid? $34. Yeah, thank you for laughing, exactly. The most recognized logo on the planet, and all you got was 34 bucks, are you kidding me? But he felt badly about this a few years later, so he gave her 100 shares of stock, which if she kept the stock would be worth over $1 million today. Now another thing, Nike is represented by some really good athletes. Some of the best. We know this guy, right? You like him? Thank you. I never ever get a class where everybody loves him. Not even in Spain or Portugal. Yeah, boo. Yeah, hey, come on. He's one of the best. Always represents Nike products, of course. Maybe the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. Still makes Air Jordans, represented Nike, and now they have LeBron James. So we got two of the greatest basketball players of all time. Tiger Woods used to be one of the best golfers. Roger Federer, up until June of this year, he changed. He's now Uniqlo, but he represented Nike for years, and Roger's probably the greatest of all time. Now, just to give you an idea, obviously they pay these athletes a lot of money, right? But they've represented some of the very best in their field. I just read, I taught this class in Taiwan a couple of weeks ago. So I said, Roger Federer isn't with Nike anymore. Really? I went home that night and looked up. He was right. Uniqlo is now, they don't even really make shoes. It's just kind of bizarre. Do you know how much money Roger Federer is getting paid by Uniqlo? $300 million. I think I'd sign with Uniqlo too. Yeah, I put this up, wear a hat, be in a few commercials. $30 million a year for 10 years. So they're paying them a lot, obviously. Okay, now I need to show a video, and my assistant is taking off here, so I got on my own on this. Excuse me, I'm not sure where the video's at. But this video shows some of the, sorry, I have to put this up. It shows some of the hidden messages. Get over here, where'd he go? Video. Remember the video? The logos video? He's eating his dinner. He's working so hard, they don't feed him here. I need to eat, John. I got 5 minutes. I can't remember what it was. If not, it's logos. We've got logos or got right here. Anyway, this video, just a short video, and it shows some of the, go right here, it's logos right there, down, right there. And it shows some of the hidden messages that companies build into their logos, which some of you may not be aware of. back and finish it. So that gives you a few ideas. I mean, the companies put a lot of thought into logos. A lot of times they'll just put a little subtle message in there, try to remind you of what the company's about. Okay, next concept I'm going to talk about. Big word. Perception. Who can tell me what the word perception means? She says, I can read. It says belief. Belief, right? It is. Perception comes from the word perceive. So it's what you perceive to be truth, or what you perceive to be reality. Now, remember this. Perception is always stronger than the truth. What you believe to be true is stronger than one may actually be true. And our President Donald Trump proves that every single day when he tweets. He believes it's not true. He's lied 2,000 times in a year. But anyway, it's especially true with logos. I mean, here's two companies that make clothes, right? But they're not the same. Our perception is, no, Prada is expensive, designer clothes, nice fabrics, H&M, simple. I wouldn't call them cheap, because the word cheap kind of tends to mean it's poor quality. I would say it's inexpensive. Everyday inexpensive clothes. But that's our perception. But what is the truth? The truth is, it's just a cotton shirt. It's a cotton shirt. So if I got Prada logo, now all of a sudden, whoa, nice shirt, Mr. Dorhmann. Where did you get that suit? H&M. Oh, Mr. Dorhmann doesn't make much money, huh? You gotta buy his suits at H&M? By the way, all of this is hand-tailored for me from Thailand. All of this made by a tailor, Empire Tailors. You guys have excellent tailors. But again, the perception. Perception's stronger than truth. There's two more. They both make cars and trucks, but they're not the same. Our perception is not the same. So when you think Mercedes-Benz, what do you think? Give me some words. Expensive. Look at that. The first word out of her mouth. Expensive. Luxury. Oh my God, look at this. Good quality, luxury. Exactly. Really good quality. Excellent quality. And what country makes Mercedes-Benz? Germany. Germans engineer some superior products. BMW, Audi, Bosch, Malay. Expensive, built to last. Ford, expensive? Not really. I wouldn't call them cheap, but you can get inexpensive Fords. And where are Fords made? Quality's good. I would say, before I say we're going to. Quality used to be, I would say 20 years ago, not very good. But quality's good now. Quality's good. And where are they made? Ford. Who makes Ford? Okay. Yeah, you didn't know this? That's because actually a lot of the trucks manufactured in Mexico. Donald Trump builds his wall, gotta get a big gate so we can get all our cars back. So American made, yes. And some of them are kind of boring. It's family cars, right? They make some kind of cool looking cars. They got Mustang. They make cool trucks. Trucks look great. But everywhere I go in the world, doesn't matter what country I go to, I get the exact same words. You guys hit on the same words. Doesn't matter if I'm in China. I was in Germany. I taught this class in Germany many times. The first word German students would say about Mercedes-Benz is expensive. They're expensive in Germany too. It's a perception we have. Perception is not always the truth. Here are two SUVs. These are a couple years old. Very similar. Okay? 4 doors, 4-wheel drive, same size tires. This is the least expensive one Mercedes makes. This is the most expensive one Ford makes. And Ford is actually almost $10,000 more. That's 300,000 baht more, right? And it's probably a better car, probably a better quality car than this right here. Still not our perception. Give you another example. Now, most of you probably going to university or college, yes? Everybody nod their head right now. Your parents are sitting in the back seat. They don't want you working at McDonald's, sitting home drinking Coke and playing video games all night. You're going to go to college, you're going to get a job, all right? So you're going to college. You need a car. Okay, so I'm giving you a Mercedes because you need a car to go to college. Okay. You can smile and say, thanks, Dad. Okay, I'll give you a Ford. You got a Ford. You got the Mercedes. You're welcome. There you go. Now, my son is appreciative here. You have to listen to my daughter. You're welcome. You're welcome. So you got the Mercedes, you got the Ford, you're off to college. Now it's 7 years later. You have college, you have a job. You're making some money. You want to sell your 7-year-old car. Which car will sell for more money, the Mercedes or the Ford? Exactly, the Mercedes, no question about it. They hold their value more. People perceive it as it's going to last longer and it's worth more money and we're willing to pay more for it. Okay, that's the reality. Last concept I'm going to talk about is brand loyalty. Now, brand loyalty, you are loyal to this company. I only shop here. I only eat this. Don't consider the competition. I am loyal to this company. Is anybody absolutely loyal to one company? You only buy their products. Exactly. What? Who said it? What did you just say? Exactly. There is one company that's an exception. You're right. Most people are not. Like 90% of us aren't loyal at all. You're gonna. I mentioned I was in Taiwan. I said, yeah, I'm loyal. What are you loyal to? Adidas. You're wearing Converse. Yeah, but no, you're wearing Converse. Sorry. But Apple's different. People are loyal to Apple. You know, I'm the same way. I had a 4, and I had a 6 like 4 years ago. My 6, the battery life was just crap. You know, just won't even hold a charge for like half a day. I said, time I upgrade. So I got the 7S, the big one, like the big hands, and now I got a big screen when I play my video games. NBA 2K. $870 in America. They're expensive. They're about the same price. I went and looked at an Apple store here. It's like almost the same price. It's a phone. But, you know, it's a mini computer too. But I'm loyal to them as well. And that's the ultimate a company can have, is your loyalty to their company. So you go to buy a smartphone, Nokia, really? They still make those? BlackBerry? You kidding? Samsung? No, let's get on fire. Right? That's the loyalty we have. Apple is in a really unique position because they have many, many millions of people's absolute loyalty. I've read that logo, that image right there, is worth $2 billion. So when they put that on a product, they can charge $1,000 for a stupid phone and we'll pay for it. Not a stupid phone, it's a really smart phone. Okay, so quick recap. We all know the importance of branding. Perception, remember, perception, always stronger than the truth. Brand loyalty. Okay, I'm not going to give you a pop quiz, but we do have some forms here. If you fill these out for us, you can do that later. You can give me some feedback. If you want to give me some feedback here, write some notes. Your class stopped. I didn't learn anything. Or it's like, hey, that was really interesting. Come to Thailand, teach here. How would I like it? Truthfully, I'd love to live here. I love it. Okay, I'm going to leave with a few final thoughts. Yeah, he was giving away prizes for just asking a question. I got like a ton of questions, okay? It's pretty cool. So, anyway, have you seen this picture of what the world used to be like? Yeah, they teach this in Thailand, right? And what's that world called? Thank you. There's my kid right there. You got the Mercedes, so you're doing good. I'm going to give you the Mercedes. And I expect a good college degree. I expect you to take care of me when I'm old. Thank you. Pangea. So this is truly what the world used to be. Hundreds of millions of years ago, we were one giant connected continent. A pretty big blip up here, actually, right there. Green thing up there. And it's split apart, and this is what we're like now. The reason I put this up here, simply because I believe, and it's pretty much a fact, we're more like this now than we ever have been. We're connected. You know, we got communications, we got global travel, we got trade, we got the internet. My God, you could like get on your computer and buy almost anything in the world and have it shipped to your home. But most importantly, our economies are tied together. So, what country has the biggest economy on Earth? America, yes. Somebody else, I know he knows the answer. Who's number 2? It's not Thailand. China, exactly. Now, I mean, those two are pretty much the giant global superpowers of the world. Now, if China or the U.S. goes into a deep recession or depression, will it affect you?
Yeah.
Yes. You're going down with us. We're taking you down with us. It's a fact. And there's no way around it. That's globalization. That's a future. And we're not going backwards. That's progress. That's going forward. Now you hear things like, Brexit. We don't want to be part of the EU. You're Donald Trump. We don't want anybody here. Unless you're from Norway. The fact is, that's just a little bit of I wouldn't even call it a setback. I would say we're just kind of maybe stalled because some people are a little upset with this globalization. They've been left out. And I understand that. One of the reasons Donald Trump got elected is all these people that have been in these factory jobs in the middle of America, they lost their job in the factory. And it's like, guess what? That job is never coming back. You sat there and made clothes, or you made, air conditioners, and that's all you did was work in the assembly line. That job is not coming back. They're gone forever. You're going to have to learn a new job. And let me give you a piece of reality right now. When you get out of school, out of college, and say you're 25 and you got your first professional job. 25 years later, when you're 50, that job won't even exist. Probably won't even exist. We're going to have AI. We're going to see transformation of the world like you can't believe. So when you turn 50, hopefully you will have trained and you'll have new skills so you can continue on. That's progress. It can be a good thing. And the fact is, when you guys get out of school, we'll even be more globalized than we are right now. And for me, that was one of the coolest things about teaching you. You hear about how international we are. But one of the things that I loved about it was, some of you may even know this, one of these people up here. But Dad said this one class, this gives you a snapshot of a typical class. It was like 12 nations, 5 continents in a single class. This was just a great class, 2016, Joe's class. Is Joe still here? He went home. So this was like Joe who came up here earlier. This was class 2016. I had students from Turkey, Kazakhstan, Brazil. I just talked to Fernando from Brazil. He's now working in Shanghai, of all places. I talked about it, I said, man, EF was the greatest thing in the world. So I'm in China, can you believe it? Vietnam, Indonesia, Russia, Norway, Germany, Spain, Angola, Africa. That's Sonia from Thailand. And that's China, that's Korea, and that's America. Yeah. We do have some American students at the school in New York. But, it's very, very international. So I'll throw this out at you. If you have a chance to go abroad and study, seriously, go. And I'm not saying you have to go to our school. We're a good school. Some of you may be perfect, but get out of Thailand. I know you got the greatest, you think this is an awesome place, and it is, and you'll probably end up coming back here. But go, and you're going to meet people from all over the world. You're going to connect with people all over the world. You're going to have friends from all over the world. Who knows? One of these may be a job, or maybe a client for you in the future. I wish I had the chance to do this when I was young. Get out. Go see the world. Now, I'm kind of glad that I put these slides in there because you had a list of all the clubs, but you didn't include golf. Okay, golf is my club. I started a golf team, and we don't have it at every school, but we got it in New York. And this was a few years ago. This is my 2015, and it just again gives you a snapshot of how global we are. These were the best players. So I had a student from Indonesia, from China, Mexico, Spain, Italy, and a big tall German guy. Just not there, he was snapping the picture. I was really proud of us. Our very first year, we beat every single American team. They looked at these guys like, you guys can hardly speak English, and you're beating us. Yeah, we are. These are good golfers. And Anna, it's like we had a girl on the team. Well, the reason they had a girl on the team is this was the first year we started golf, and I didn't have enough for a girls' team. In most sports, you got girls' teams and boys' team. Turns out, she was the best player on the team. She had almost a 0 handicap, and she wanted a college scholarship, so we had some coaches from NYU come watch her play. She got offered $40,000 a year to go to NYU. So that's another big thing, talking about activities and sports. Get involved. It makes a difference for college applications. And another thing too, that you mentioned all the university placements, but one thing that has just blown me away, I talked to all my students, and we get a lot of university scholarships. I was pretty amazed when I saw this number. Last year we had almost $6.5 million for or university scholarships. And we get some great placements, even though I can't spell Cambridge, sorry. I don't know how that happens. And of course, Halloween, Joe mentioned Halloween. You're gonna get, there you are, Jeff. You didn't see the class picture. I had Sonia in my class picture. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, that's okay. Halloween is like, it's pretty crazy and fun, right, Joe? Halloween?
Yeah, it was.
It's nuts. So you get cultural experiences too. You're gonna have to work hard. If you're gonna come and study IB, I guarantee you're gonna work hard to get that IB diploma, but we have fun. And IB is not just about academics and books. It's about trying to make you a well-rounded, global-minded person. So activities outside of classroom are really big. And yeah, this was, DeLong, I just met him. He's going to graduate next year. He's in college now in California. He's a special effects artist. Imagine that. Look at how he's doing special effects here. So he's doing special effects for movies is what he wants to do. He should have won, he didn't. And teachers get into it as well. That's who hired me. One and Lisa. And that's me.
Who's that?
This right here?
Yeah,
How long you?
Yeah, you saw this like that. And of course, you know about, you already heard about our schools. And I taught at New York for a couple of years, but I've also been a guest teacher at Oxford. I know those campuses really well. I know the staff. I've sat in on classes. I've taught classes there. If you have any questions about the differences between the two, ask me. And then Torvay is very different than the other two. It's obviously UK, but it's kind of a small, remote, kind of beach town. So it's very different than Oxford and New York. And when is this opening?
2020.
2020 is the official date. So we are getting, I think officially it's Los Angeles.
Yes, yeah.
Secure the property.
Yes.
Yep.
We look forward.
Yep. So we'll have a fourth location, which is great. Which means for you Thai people that are afraid you might freeze and die in New York in the winter, which you could, you may have California as an option.
Where is it? Where is it in LA?
Now I don't know. I haven't heard. You heard where it's at in LA? Hopefully not downtown. Yeah, you know LA. It's not downtown.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. I just know that it's inside California and it's in LA.
Yeah.
I don't know specific location yet.
Ask, and we can get that information because I know we've got the building and we're remodeling the building right now. I can't remember what the building used to be, but we've got the property. So, ideally Santa Monica. That'd be great. I don't know. I don't know where it's at. I just heard LA.
Will it be better than New York?
I lived in New York 14 years. I like both of them. I like LA, I like New York, but it's, again, I think it'd be more like the cultural experience in New York City. I think it's just incredible. It's amazing. It has everything. If you want that type of an experience, LA, it's different. It's warm, it's sunny, you got the beaches there. So it's just, different cultural experience. I personally, I like warm weather. But New York is an amazing campus. It's huge. It's our biggest campus. You're going to have the most diversity there. You're going to have the most selection of classes. You have the most activities too. We have 800 students. It's our biggest campus. That's a lot. Do you really spell like that? Is that just one word? No wonder I can never. That's fine. Good. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, okay. Yeah. What do you give me? What grade do you give my time? B? C plus?
Did you use Google?
Yeah, of course I did. She's unimpressed. Hey, I just came from Japan, and then a week later I'm in Taiwan. Then a week later I'm in China. Then a week later I can't learn all these languages. I'm old. I can't. My brain can't handle. My brain's full.
Okay, I give you A class.
Oh! Awesome. I want you in my class. That is, right? Questions? Oh, I just went from A plus to a D minus. You're barely passing now.
Did you just see question mark?
Really?
Wow.
Come and sit in the back.
Yeah. Thank you. I guess that would be right. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Raise your hand and just yell it out. Questions? If you don't want to ask now, stick around. I'm going to be here. I'm only here for a couple of days. So please ask me any questions at all about our campuses or anything. I'd be happy to answer your questions.
Do students have to attend 3 years full, or can be 2 or 1 year? At least
To get an IB diploma, it's a minimum 2 years. So, I mean, you could take maybe 1 year of IB here and then continue the IB in New York if we offer the same classes. But for IB, if you sign up for business, you take it for 2 years. So you have to have a minimum 2 years for the IB diploma. Yeah.
Can we take pre-IB?
Yes. It's called IGCSE, so it is kind of a pre-IB. And I can guarantee you, every student that I've ever taught that went to 9th and 10th, or at least 10th, it prepares you for IB. So IB's kind of tough. So you'll work hard in 10th grade, but you also have a chance to have a full year of learning classes fully taught in English. So your English skills will definitely get better, especially your writing skills, even if your English is pretty good right now. All my students that went 9th and 10th grade that entered IB were better prepared for IB. So yes. And you can either do 9th and 10th or just 10th, and then go IB.
So there's A-level and IB in the New York campus?
No, A-levels are only for UK.
Okay.
So A-levels are specifically if you want to go to a UK university. Yeah, so they aren't offered in New York. Because New York is just IB.
Only IB?
Yeah, only IB. So A-levels, if you're interested in A-levels, the only reason you would take A-levels is you want to go to a UK university. So you take A-levels for a UK
So if
university.
I currently finish IGCSE year 11, I can just go to New York for the IB?
Yeah.
How many years do you take? And then universities?
Oh, how many years university in the US?
Yeah.
Typically, I mean, there's a 2-year degree, but typically it's 4 years to get what they call a bachelor's degree. So it's usually a minimum 4 years, and then you go another year if you want a master's degree, and another year if you want a doctorate. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Exactly. You're like 30 when you graduate. You're ready to retire. And never read a book again. I had a friend who was a doctor. It's like she didn't practice until she was like almost 30 years old. Because after they go through all the medical training, then they have to do what's called residency. They have to work under another doctor. So she couldn't practice as a doctor until she was like 30. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? No, it's a great career. Yeah.
If you graduate from IB schools and then university will accept you without tests or anything?
No. You still, like in the US, the fact is, if you have a good IB score, it's proven. You can look it up. You will have a better chance of getting into a good university. They accept a higher percentage of people with IB scores than they do just with high school scores. So they do know, because IB is considered about as difficult as your first year of college. That's how difficult it is compared to college. When I first got the books and I was reading, it's like, wow, I never had to learn this in college. I was shocked. I had to work really hard to learn the curriculum. Because I'm old and I forgot everything. That's another reason too. But no, it helps you, it definitely helps you get into a good university. All universities in the English-speaking world really highly regard IB. It's probably more highly regarded than AP. AP is another one, advanced placement. Yeah. And that's just a fact. You don't have to believe me, you can look it up. It's a fact. Yeah. So it'll help. And it prepares you. It prepares you for university. I had a student who he went to our business college, which is part of which is Holt. And he's good. We're friends. So, we chatted a little bit. And he said, hey, Mr. Dorhmann, how you doing? Blah, blah. And I said, how you doing? He said, I'm at Holt. I said, how's it going? He says, easy. I'm just learning everything you taught me last year. So it really helps. Now I've had some students, if you really want to challenge yourself, you can actually skip a lot of your first year. With your IB diploma, you can skip a lot of your first year classes, go right into second year. I had one student from Norway. She got really good IB scores. She skipped her first entire year, went directly into second year, graduated in 3 years with a 4-year degree. So, anything else? Now you're really impressed, right? Sounds like a lot of work. It is a lot of work.
Is IB the same thing as the foundation program in the university? Like, I've heard some university that offer the foundation program, like, which is somehow a diploma as well.
You know, I'm just not that familiar with it. IB is considered a foundation, but I don't know how it compares to the foundation. Like the one thing I have heard, of course you compare A levels, but the thing they offer in the United States or many places called AP, it's advanced placement. So in some high schools in America, you can take, say, business AP, which is just one class. And it's very similar to like an IB level of a business class. I'm just not quite familiar with the foundation. Yeah, sorry. I know it's hard. And it's probably very similar. Anything else? No? Okay. I'm not going to say there are any questions. No, I can. Thank you very much. There it is.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dorhmann. And จบแล้วนะครับสำหรับclass branding ในวันนี้นะขอบคุณทุกท่านมากแล้วก็จะมีฝากไว้2อย่างสุดท้ายครับอย่างแรกคือถ้าเกิดว่ามีน้องคนไหนหรือผู้ปกครองท่านไหนครับอยากมาอีกทีวันพรุ่งนี้ด้วยเกี่ยวกับ entrepreneurship นะครับก็สามารถลงทะเบียนที่คุณแพรด้านหลังได้เลยนะครับแล้วก็ถ้าน้องคนไหนอยากจะสัมภาษณ์กับคุณจอห์น ดอร์แมนเนี่ยใช้เวลาประมาณ 10-15 นาทีก็สามารถสัมภาษณ์ได้ด้วยนะครับเหมือนกับว่าสัมภาษณ์เพื่อจะพูดคุยนะครับแล้วก็จะดูระดับภาษาอังกฤษของเราแล้วก็ดูว่าเราจะสามารถ start class IB ได้ไหมอย่างเงี้ยครับผมก็ไม่ได้มีค่าใช้จ่ายอะไรเพียงแต่ว่ามันก็เป็นสเต็ปหนึ่งในการที่จะสมัครเรียนเข้า EF Academy มีใครสะดวกไหมครับสัมภาษณ์กับคุณจอห์น ดอร์แมนวันนี้มีใครสะดวกไหมครับเพราะคุณจอห์น ดอร์แมนจะบินกลับอเมริกาวันมะรืนนี้แล้วนะครับโอเค1 คนนะมีไหม2 คนมีใครไหมครับ2 คนนะครับโอเคน้องๆทีม4 คนก็ดีอ๋ออะไรนะโอเคน้องๆสัมภาษณ์ตัวนี้ครับโอเคถ้าเกิดว่าน้องๆคนไหนที่สนใจสัมภาษณ์กับคุณจอห์น ดอร์แมนนะครับเดี๋ยวไปพบพี่แพรด้านหลังได้เลยนะแล้วก็เรียนได้เลยก่อนสัมภาษณ์ก่อนนะ
You might get really depressed.
I don't want to take IB. Probably wouldn't get a perfect score. They're really hard.
แล้วก็น้องโจ้ยังอยู่กับเรานะครับถ้ามีใครอยากทราบข้อมูลแบบว่าเจาะลึกในแคมปัสนะครับก็คุยกับน้องโจ้ได้แล้วก็มีผมด้วยนะครับแล้วก็ถ้าน้องคนไหนที่ได้เอกสารไปนะครับที่เป็นเหมือนกับการ์ดนะครับกับปากกานะยังไงใส่ข้อมูลได้นะครับหรือว่าถ้าอยากทราบข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมเพราะว่าพี่
You right away.
ไม่ว่าจะเป็นวิดีโอคลิปต่างๆเกี่ยวกับในห้องเรียนนะครับแล้วก็รูปภาพไม่อะไรครับปากกาไปได้เลยครับน้องๆคืนที่แตกกระดาษอย่างเดียวนะเดี๋ยวเสร็จแล้วให้พี่ได้เลยให้พี่แตกกระดาษ
I mean, look huge here, right? Look huge here. Yeah. This is dominant. I'm shocked. But 51%. I mean, probably the whole product in history.
แล้วเดี๋ยวจะคอยได้แบบว่าจะกลับพร้อมกันลงไปทานอะไรก่อนก็ได้
No, exactly. I'm locked in this space. I know. They're supposedly locked. I read somewhere that, yeah, I mean, I was interested. And I read somewhere, some chemist, some private. It's like,
ไม่เอาจะได้แล้วน้องสามารถขอไลฟ์ที่โจ้แอดได้นะครับเดี๋ยวไว้ปรึกษาได้
แล้วเราเขาก็จะดูเบื้องต้นถ้าน้อยถ้าน้อยแบบนั้นคุณต้องบอกต้องมีใครเหลือ
But was there, now was the concentrate made here or was it manufactured in America? Oh, they do
แต่ที่นี่ผมรู้สึกว่าเทส
Now, you probably get that,
เปลี่ยน
you know, when you
saw
saw
all
all
the
over
details.
the world.
มาเทสด้วยถ้าสนใจจะเทสก็นัดกับพี่เขาได้เลย